about 66 different sites them where they cause flooding at the Freetown. According to the Director of Finance and Investment, na Road Maintenance Fund Administration, Joe Thomas, RMFA gets over 100 billion loans debt for pay different bank them.
2016, RMFA management, they take a 35 billion loans debt from the Commerce and Mortgage Bank. 2017, they take a further loan of 30 billion from Sierra Leone Commercial Bank and 15 billion from Roque Commercial Bank. So the total principal plus interest comes to 108 billion loans.
And today at the program, we go look inside the situation report on the COVID-19 response. We talk about the role where local and international NGO then they play for fight against the coronavirus na Salone.
Well, this plus other story them there for you inside the program. You will also know how the National COVID-19 Emergency Response Center done they manage the quarantine home them from the time where the country registered the first coronavirus. And inside the program, Good Morning Salone, members say they listen we live on www.radiodemocracy.sl. And safe, you they listen we live from Radio Shalom 89.5 Nakono, Koinadugu District, Radio Malin 88.5, and Radio 1J 101.1 Apujon District, Radio Colon 10 90.0 na Cambia, Radio Mohai 0.5 na Kailaon District, and Voice of Karine na 98.0 na Karine District. The program na Good Morning Salone. Send your message or comment to the number 077 981 981. And as we tell on our inside the program this morning, today inside the program we go look at how the different pillar them within the NAVOC done the work, and then pillar yeah, you get the work for do the quarantine home, and people are also really in charge of food. Well, with we at the studio I welcome Neneba Jallo, when are the Human Resource and Finance Manager for Food and Nutrition pillar. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning.
We also get with we Colonel Retired Amadou Abubakar Koroma, Head of Quarantine Management. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning and good morning to your listeners.
Okay, we'll now continue for the retweet inside the program.
The first issue we look at the program this morning na Usai where the corona sick come na the country and about plenty activity then like book learning, business, transportation, social gathering, religious activity them, and business activity them will be done they be in a different parts of the country. Well, for go back na bank and get money. Now one way where people been tapped before. I will go over this this story again. Also, the corona sick in come on at the country and about plenty activity them like book learning, business, transportation, social gathering, and plenty other thing them. And safe. One bank we don't tina before for support government for follow the social distancing measure them. Na Eco Bank we don't introduce different electronics bank system for make people no go boku na the banking hold them we then get. But waiting as some pandemic measure them ya. Victor Williams na the head of commercial banking. It talk more to Alex Lawrence Koroma inside this interview.
EcoBank na one of the first institutions na Sierra Leone we put out measure them for able for control the COVID-19 situation where we get in our country. And part of the measure that we put now face mask. Everybody for wear face mask with the kind of EcoBank. If you not get face mask, they're not going to allow you for camp. We also get hand washing facility now all the branches them na EcoBank. So before you enter any branch, you get for wash your hand, then go also give you hand sanitizer where you go use, and give you towel for whip your hand.
All right, so in the area of accessing cash, what are the measures they want to introduce?
Okay, we know say we no want we customer them for the old money plenty or even come na the bank, because we want for continue for help Papa government for talk about waiting and social distancing. So now that make we get so many of we digital products we offer na the market. So if you na person we get account with we, for example, you can use your ATM card for go na any of we ATM them, and even now we ATM we get hand sanitizer, we get site for washing, we get all the measured in the. Apart from that, for we business people then, we get internet banking facility then where we don't launch out na the market. Like if you now with big corporate customer, we get what they call Omni Plus. The Omni Plus will help you for do all your banking na your office. You can pay your salary, you can pay your workman them, you can pay supplier. You no need for come na the bank at all. If you na then other business people there, we local businessman them, we also get Omni Light as well. Instead they do like the same thing with the Omni Plus they do. Instead they help you for pay you supplier them, for do transfer, you can do local transfer, international transfer. You can also print your statement. You can also able for watch your account online. So you don't need for the kind of bank all the time. We also get for the individual, then we get what they call EcoBank Online. EcoBank Online is an internet platform where it is for all the individual people then, where you also no need for Canada Bank if you get that facility there. And in addition to the EcoBank Online, we also get with mobile app. The mobile app, I can tell you, say it play magic. The mobile app now like a small bank where we all get now we earn where we work with. With the mobile app, you can do plenty thing them with them. Okay?
You say the mobile app, for example, they do plenty thing with them. How one go on for say like I go able buy some tutu in a market, go able buy some tutu in a supermarket, go able in a meals and do all transaction. How this app they function?
Okay, for we mobile app. We get different feature them inside we mobile app where we get cable for transfer money from one person to the other. Okay, with your mobile app, you get everything then called virtual card. If for example you want for pay online, you know want for use your ATM card. We all know the scam and things that way they go around. You can create a virtual card, use your mobile app and create a virtual card and pay with them online. Okay. It work like same way like the normal card way you get, okay? With the mobile app as well, you pay bills, okay? Like we pay school fee for we picking them. Most of the schools then we get at this country, then our mobile app, you can use that for pay bill, and we get what we call the EcoBank Pay. The EcoBank Pay now the facility where you be able for use for buy goods or pay for services, okay? And then they not only limited to the goods the way they call like them posh goods there. Even when you go to market, okay, you go to Kuto Road, you go to Kisi Road market, you can use the EcoBank Pay for buy. You go to PZ, we get plenty shop them around PZ. We get the EcoBank Pay QR code with them. Okay, you can use the EcoBank Pay feature for buy. You go to supermarket, you don't need for cash go, you don't need for play with money. You understand? We want for ensure say we all safe at this time. So you don't need for play with money where you go to supermarket. Just get your phone and go look for the EcoBank Pay QR. You go see we get 10th card, the EcoBank Pay 10th card within all the major supermarkets. Okay, and you go there, you ask them for the QR code, then go give you.
Well, that's Victor Williams. We're now the head of commercial banking na EcoBank Salone. Maybe they talk to producer Alex Lawrence Kuroma about systems them where EcoBank don't put in place for ensure say they reduce overcrowding na the different banking hall them where they get na the country. Well, the program Good Morning Salone they continue, and not forget to yourself when they listen the program. Go add the voice to tin them where they talk about 077 Africell number 981 na the number where you go send your message to. And as we tell you earlier today na the program, we go for can look inside one situation report on COVID-19 response where they talk about the role we local and international NGO them they play for fight against the coronavirus. And now the studio I want to welcome Eric Masali, we are the national coordinator for NGO them, now the Ministry of Planning and Economic Development. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Yeah, good morning.
All right, continue for the we'll come back to you back. Like I'm over to we other studio guests them. We come out na the NACOVAC. Then they are this morning for can tell we about how quarantine home then they operate and save. The issue we get for do with food them as we get Madam Nene Bajalo, we na the food and nutrition pillar in Comot. They are this morning for can tell we about waiting they happen to food them for people them within the quarantine home them. But at the start first for talk to Lieutenant retired Amadou Abubakar Kuroma, when ahead of quarantine home them and na covered. They are this morning for tell we bots and work. But we all know where the the coronavirus scam na the country, not only Salone, different parts in the world. One new world where we begin here, it gets for do with quarantine. Also, plenty people get the way how they define quarantine, but let we can know waiting a quarantine way una na the national COVID response they handle. Let we first know waiting on they refer to as quarantine.
Thank you very much. In the first place, who say quarantine? Quarantine now a confinement of people there, now a particular place or a particular locality or a particular house or home or center where would they try for make sure say they know the disease where they're exposed to, let no communicate or let no transfer to the wider community, and also for protect them and the quarantine home. Basically, the essence of quarantine is, if not happen at all, everything normal. We not get any epidemic or pandemic or whatever. We not quarantine anybody. But we know what happened during Ebola, and I just history repeating itself. Because this COVID-19 is a very serious illness and a global pandemic. It is everywhere. Developed world, developing world, underdeveloped world, it is everywhere. But where we get the first case in Sierra Leone at the end of March 9, His Excellency the President, retired Brigadier Julius Mandabio, now set up the COVID-19 response outfit. Say now in for day before this fete for drive this disease common in Sierra Leone. So in the process of the fed this disease here, okay, we index case in March. We all know what happened, and as that happened, the case where it test positive, then can go to treatment center. And the one day we now the primary contact we don't get close waiting self with, we go for quarantine like that. We put them in a confinement. We say them go there because they don't expose. We keep them there for 14 days because this disease also they take 14 days. The virus it takes 14 days for let it incubate and let the person carry let it manifest itself. So after 14 days, we conduct a test, collect samples from them, take them to a lab, do the test there. So anyway, it test positive, we extract them, we can go back to another treatment center. The one day when they're in quarantine, then they repeat the second cycle. Because the protocol say, person is in quarantine for a period of 14 days. After 14 days, then collect the sample, then go test them. So if at all the while in our quarantine, they all test negative, then the quarantine they dissolve. So but if any case come under way, now a positive case, the whole we get a positive case in our lab for treatment center for treatment. The rest of the people, and they repeat the second cycle of another 14 days. Then they, as long as that they continue, say at the end of every 14 days, positive case they emerge, then they repeat the cycle until such a time where they all test negative, one in our quarantine before they dissolve the quarantine. So basically, the essence of my own area when our quarantine management, now for make we effectively manage and administer, as well as monitor the quarantine centers and the homes them. Also, for let we break the chain of transmission because this now disease is easily communicable. Somebody where you don't expose to the virus, if you make sure you confine it in a place so that you protect the wider community, let transmission on affect everybody in the community. But when they are not confinement, they take 14 days. We make sure say they not transmit disease to anybody at all. And when they are quarantine, we make sure say we provide security. They will provide all the basic necessities. We provide food for them. We provide water for them. We provide hand sanitizers. We provide masks. We make sure they do all the etiquette.
We can't talk about the provisions the way they make for people we they na quarantine. But also we also make for understand saying the people we can quarantine. At the end of the day, where somebody can test positive of the virus, get certain levels them they put the people contact A, contact B, and different levels they put them. During the quarantine, can really watch for this. Like for example, somebody don't prove positive na a household. Where go just the quarantine everybody together, or they watch for the closest people where sometimes all day under the same roof, but you can get some big compound not necessarily say the person they gonna have everybody in room. How they differentiate then kind of people in there?
In the first place, it's very easy for differentiate. We get what we call primary contact, and this now we main focus. All primary contact are the person where the people them where you don't get close interaction with on daily basis or on regular basis or whatever they would identify. We go to call contact tracers where they do under surveillance pillar. Now then they go identify all them people here, we put them together and we create a quarantine situation outside them in confinement so that then we'll go interact with other people them who knows if they can carry the virus, because we get cases we call asymptomatic. That is, it carry the virus in a system, but in a outside
so
by
it's a big compound and everybody in the compound they put on the quarantine.
If not big compound, as long as we identify, say, the one day we did in our primary contact, we quarantine them all.
So now let's look at the best practice of a quarantine home or center. In any quarantine center or home, you get certain best practice way for become value in terms of implementing, which you will say about the different quarantine home and center them. In anyone that can consider best practice.
In the first place, before we establish a quarantine, we get various stakeholders where they go for meet the residents of the quarantine. In the first place, we get psychosocial. This is the one them we then they go talk to the people them, tell them say this is not the situation. And because a positive case don't arise in this community, therefore they keep on in confinement for a period of 14 days. Because if they not talk to them, they go in that as to why they in the quarantine in the first place. Then for how long? Is it everlasting? Is it for a month? Is it for 3 months? Or for 6 months or whatever? So then they go in, tell them exactly the essence of the quarantine, and that then for the purpose of the quarantine, not only for keep them in confinement unnecessarily, but for protect themselves within then a primary contact inside the quarantine, and also for protect the wider community, for let them not go outside and interact with the community, and by that then spread the virus to them.
Okay, let's look at in terms of that area. We think about the approach, how polite and calm the workman of ALC can be. For go tell person say, well now, we they can't put now under 14 days quarantine because of this reason or because of this one particular person. One or only one, so don't become affected, because that is very key.
Yeah.
For go look person one side, you get to know the manner and way how you talk to them.
That is it. Thank you very much. In fact, this now one of the key message way the national coordinator of this COVID-19 response can tell we. And the psychosocial pillars I mentioned, say, now the person when they go talk to the quarantine people, them say the essence of the quarantine, how long they did it, how them for behave, whatever. Then I just a drop in the ocean. Now we get also the risk communication pillar. This is the personnel then or the staff then where they go, they assess the risk in the place, and they make sure say all the risk assessment they don't do, the people they make sure say they not breach any security rules or anything where you go make. I mean, we go make the quarantine look meaningless. Okay? Then the security themselves constituting of soldiers and police, themselves they go and do the assessment. Right. So basically, before all them they happen, all them various pillars here, then staff or the representatives them, then they go on the ground and do the assessment. Right. We as quarantine management, we say they do assessment. Is this place suitable to become a quarantine home or a quarantine center? Because we go for ensure say, then get one food supply. Adequate food supply, quality food supply, then go forget water, then go forget hand sanitizers, then go forget masks, then go for respect social distancing. All them tell the lecture on there.
Okay, continue for the between the studio. In name na Lieutenant Colonel retired Amadou Abubakar Koma and in at the head of quarantine management na Nakovac. The program Good Morning Salone they continue.
And they come over to the other studio guest we na Nene Bajalo in commot na the food and nutrition pillar na Nakovac. Tell we this morning, waiting at the role where the food and nutrition pillar they play in all of this situation of the COVID-19.
Thank you very much. We all know now say the most important thing that we all in life now food. If you get anybody, any side, if you not provide food for her, no matter how kind medicine you get, no matter how kind lodging you get, confusion the commodity. So this belly business and sober business. So they bring the food and nutrition pillar because we know say you put people in together and get for feed. We comprise of nutritionists and dietitians them. We own job in the beginning started with they make all the menus for all the quarantine centers and treatment centers all over the country. The treatment centers as Mary from Cornell, now the centers so the real people they know well they. Then the quarantine center now also they keep the people there way connected to them. Because now spread the disease. So we get two forms of feeding we recommend. We recommend wet feeding when I cook food. All the treatment centers they cook food and care them for the breakfast, lunch and dinner. And the contractor they do that and they provide the water for them. And in the beginning because when they rush for care them and then they tell them the time way how long they need and anything because don't know how long they need. We'll be used to even give them toothpaste, toothbrush, all other small things for keep because we will tell you say we say can't take with and care we will not bring all the things there. So provide and they also for it. But then we get to call the dry portion. Like them people like sometimes they'll get 28 people in one quarantine home. Because the company and big they get 3-4 small homes. But as long as they use the same gate for Como and they carry the same kitchen, they pass the care run up and down, connection don't be. So get some sudden at 28 or more people in one quarantine home. So we give them food so that we have responsibility for saying that almost cup of rest, go do for how many people, we do them by home. Like say 4 or 5 homes and need it. So this one and get a pot to give them a portion. In that list, though, they make sure everything we plant eat, we eat our get rice, we get oil, we get to beans, we get to salt wey WFP they provide for help we. The rest of the thing and the contractor they provide and the fish now, the breakfast items, the pepper, all other things.
So how often una dey give food to the different quarantine homes and centers?
Well, the quarantine homes and centers, since na 2 weeks, then they put us say we do 16 days because the 14 days na it's wey dem confine and the other 2 days wey dem can take the test for see the positive or negative. We give that 2 extra for 16 days. They give them dry portion they give to them. Then the water they give to them. In fact, get different things that will alternate with bread and give them tea, coffee, Ovaltine. Then they in the heavy right now and they know say they eat in the way me they never know they afford for it all the time sef. But they don't because we keep us in one place. The thing where they expect it pass away in the house because you keep our one place. So go all out for make sure say the variety of food that they get, we dey give them for make sure say they're comfortable.
So this food the one they give, what you say na nutritious food. Now for people them na all quarantine home because other issue don't they come out that it's as if on I get exception or they give special preference to certain people in a quarantine home them.
No, we not get special preference to anybody. Anybody quarantine, the same list of food they will give for cook. If you are on a hot food, now they give you in a canima all other food. Therefore, we get for cook quarantine home. The every for way they call it, if this not they cook the animal, it has to be within that. So there is no preference. The quantity is the same, the quality is the same, and some of them so get lock safe. When they cook for them, then they tell the contractor, so we say that payment we want. The woman will call me and say, hey, they want payment, give them payment. Because honest to God, now the person like 91. The other day call, hey, they say they want you. I say no, see, give them because fish day, all the nutrients are all balanced day. Since they go comfortable and calm down, give them so not get preference.
So wetin can happen where some people are on quarantine but food not dey reach to them at all because we get evidence recording them of people waiting at quarantine homes. They don't do it for over the time, but they not ever get food. Wetin can happen?
It not ever happen, never and ever, because from
Not
the day,
to your knowledge.
No.
Or say any quarantine home, then a Freeton or salon at large, we not ever get food.
no, not to my knowledge. And again, like I say, why it not go be so? Now because we get all them pillars here. As soon as 10 people here they not identified, the first pillar they call na quarantine and security because then get forget policemen, soldier man, then they for make sure they not come outside. Then the next one they go talk to na food. Like I say, food na they calm people in there. As soon as food and water come, most times I cook food that first day, food and water they come for them. Where then all other things fall in place, so it's not possible.
Alright, continue further with me at the studio, Nene Bajalo. They come out na the food and nutrition pillar, na NACOVAC. They tell we about how then self they play their role for ensure say people within a quarantine homes them get food where they supposed forget.
The program Good Morning Salone they continue, and inside the program today, as we don't tell now, they look at the role where NGO and national NGO them don't they play as a young contribution towards the fight against the corona virus. And we know say the Ministry of Planning and Economic Development and the direct body where they work within different NGO and national NGO as anything that they do for they in line with government agenda. And as the young support, the local and NGO them we don't contribute couple where they were used as their young contribution to the fight against COVID-19, and this will make them go to the 16 district team with the national NGO them for go identify side them we get challenge we need improvement document where they go use this scope up. Inside the program this morning we get Eric Masali where they can tell we what the role where they don't they play, where the ministry don't they work with them different organizations here. So once more, good morning and welcome to the program.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Too.
Okay, first of all, let me start from the declaration of the first case of COVID-19 na Salone. Waiting don't be how the national and INGO them start for tell when I say, well, we get interest to one do this particular thing. Waiting will be the first approach.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, as you don't rightly say, we ministry now they coordinate the operations of non-governmental organizations, both national and international. And as we all know, NGOs and the complementary thing government they do. You understand? They always they fulfill the gaps and see how they came for support government for media aspirations. So where we get, even before we get the index case, we minister, of course, now man we get experience, Dr. Francis Kaikai, get experience in emergencies. We all know say effect now it play a very key role for ensure say Sierra Leone come back to normalcy during the rebel war. From there, even Ebola term as a UN expert, come and can support with them. So the minister know waiting for do for ensure say we fit them can sick there. So immediately we begin for hearing about coronavirus. It decides say there is need for us for call the NGOs into a meeting and can look at the plan. You understand? For one doing that and the prevention aspect. And of course, in an event, we get the creative aspect. So what do we do? And for call them to a meeting, as usual, both the NGOs and the national NGOs will call them to a meeting, and they tell them, say, this what we don't hear. And from the proclamation from President rightly say, that a matter of time, you understand, for medicine come. So we still start for put measures in place, especially when we know, say, the NGOs then can get for contact the head office back for get approvals, for talk to the donors and whatnot. So you still start one time. So we give the NGOs and the mandate for me then go back and look at the response package, which they don't intend for support government with. So then go then contact the head offices and then come back to we and tell we the activities when they support, the areas when they support, and the amount to then get for support. So we will consolidate that support today and submit them to State House, and the minister of course be submitted to His Excellency the President. Will the President be really happy and give executive instructions, then when that will follow now.
So now also are the major areas them we they want for focus on, because we get different pillars them under the NACOVAC. Also people they decide on what they want for do. Also are the area them where the NGO and INGOs then.
Yeah, the key areas them we go for do it. One, the social mobilization, awareness raising. We're very important. The NGOs them we don't, and that's an instruction we don't give them for ensure say the last one, because as we always know, NGOs them and then they reach outside, even government able for reach the last mile, as the minister can always say. We need for get people that know say corona is real, and of course adhere to the preventive measures. So the social mobilization are one aspect to NGOs and they support. As the head of the country they talk. Now another area where they support, they provide food, they provide them basic things to the country homes them across the country. Then even for set up the command centers, they provide them with equipment, you understand, for support them. The surveillance, of course, for like if you go to most of the districts and the NGOs them, especially the INGOs them, and then they handle surveillance. Then they provide support for the provide fuel, provide vehicle and everything. So basically the key areas and the NGOs and they support. And as we all know, they count them the PPEs and IPCs them, they provide them to the areas, and then face masks, them hand sanitizer, then if you go to the hospitals, all the PHUs at this country, I will proudly tell you, say, we get NGOs them, especially INGOs them, we don't provide PPEs for all the PHUs in the whole country.
Okay, continue for with Eric Masali, National Coordinator for NGO them, now the Ministry of Planning and Economic Development will come back to you. But now inside the program Good Morning Salone, we go for a short break.
Salone Commercial Bank don't come with new banking products them for make life easy. With Million Online Bank and Million Mobile App, you can able for use Salone Link money transfer for send money to anybody in like you not get bank account. Transfer or receive money na the same bank or any other bank. Transfer money to person or office in like you not get the account number. buy extra light, pay other bill them, and now get advanced salary. You no need for worry again, but almost money then you earn. Because you can able for pay for things the way you buy in a supermarket and other shop them with the quick response code payment. Your background done for we boss man them. With Beyond Online Direct, you can upload salary, pay all you supplier them, sell forex to Salone Commercial Bank, and watch your account anytime. If you need the app, download them from Google Play Store or any Apple Store, or go to Salone Commercial Bank website www.slcb.com. Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, delivering value.
The program Good Morning Salone continues. Send a message or comment to the number 077-981-981, or you go on our Facebook page on www.radiodemocracy. Inside the program Good Morning Salone, we look at another issue. Inside 2018, the Freetown City Council, together with them partner them, they begin for implement the flood mitigation exercise na different area them inside Freetown. Also, they can clean gutter and other public places them we can develop the water, make it not get free passage during the rainy season. And from that time to now, the Freetown City Council don't continue with this project na different area them. And according to the mayor for the Freetown City Council, our worship Yvonne Akisoya say, the reason for this na for tap the past mark flooding, where we don't happen na the country. And as the exercise zone start back, he explained to the reporter Cherno Jalo about the different area them, where council don't begin for clean before the rainy season begin proper one.
The idea behind the flood mitigation, now how we go able for reduce the risk of flooding. And we almost say you go able to do something in a short term, but you really need to do things that way in a longer term. But whilst you be able for put yourself in order for the longer term, the short term very important and it can save life and property. So where we should do for the flood mitigation, we will go systematically through the city, point to point, for look the area then where that day the flooding can sort of like rise up because gutter block, culvert block. So all them today we go identify them, and then we now move through the city day by day by day. Normally we can take about 3 to 4 weeks. We do phase 1 at the start of the rainy season. Then as the rainy season go on, we come back, we do phase 2. So we don't able to get funding from the World Bank for provide the funds for the phase 1, and EU for provide the funds for phase 2.
During this process, for one we go ask, is it that na clean or the clean drainages and or in the process back when I can make new drainages and for outside not can get?
Okay, so no, the flood mitigation not in make new drainage, but you don't hit on something very important when are the longer term solutions, and we actually very involved in that. So right now, in addition to this work where they go on, we also get another World Bank project where we provide improved drainage in 10 communities, over 900 meters of drain, way open and 49 meters covered. Then you get the one with the Japanese government, and that one in 5 communities. But it's so important, Cherno, for really focus on the long-term solutions. And right now, even inside Lumley, we do big gutter day back na Levuma. So all around the city, we get an input there on drainage. But the drain, you can get them and it can still full up with 2 things. Number 1, silt, when are the red dirty. Number 2, garbage.
This brings me to the next question. When I don't clean the drainage year after year from 2018 to now, but most of the time, after 1 or 2 weeks, when I clean the drainage they don't empty the water, the flow. 2 or 3 weeks back, we see, don't come flood. But I think the value for money lead into the business.
I believe, say, providing that flood mitigation, 2018 we not see no flooding. 2019 we see flooding on the 2nd of August and on the 15th of August, but in both instances the water subside very, very fast because gutters have been clear. So even though you feel in a short term, it still get value. However, then 2 things the way they full up the gutter, we not ignore them. They one in they step we address them. Number 1, when it comes to the silt, the red dirty, why is it full up gutter? Because of the deforestation. So for address that one day, we launched on the 3rd of January 2020, Freetown, the Tree Town. Whenever we campaign for plant 1 million trees, then the dirty side. This garbage I make, we sweep the streets, so that we not go left the dirty day on the streets. But we still the appeal to homeowners. Everybody forget who that to collect your dirty, that this move we don't make
no,
so far.
actually 10 beginning they will say when they're about to construct. When I don't kickstart some of it already. How far cancel this project?
The plan na for let all them 10 they be done by the end of July. So inside these heavy rains, then drains and they go be in use. And we go feel the impact with that makes sense. So the combination of the drains, of the tree planting, of the flood mitigation work we do, now we will see a marked improvement by God's own power in flood. But make I also say this, all over the world now, we suffer from climate change. So we as City Council, we do everything possible for mitigate against the risk of flooding.
So let's come back to the flood mitigation exercise. You don't start for this year already. Take me some of the communities that have been decided for target this time around and almost not been targets.
So the target total, I believe, say now 66. We've been kicked off by Potty. It was in the east, and then looking to the road, Mazda, Smart Farm, go on.
So how council can go about for locate some of them places?
We miss a community out. Una make we know.
Okay.
So we can ask the councillors for let the team know you submit usai in their own problem areas.
Okay.
We do work with the ASLAF in advance of the process. Before you see we begin to go on the roads them, then they go through the city. So we don't get inside them from last year. They want it in an obvious place them. Then through this process of discussion and interaction with others them, and some people them can just send message to council. Say we get problem at so and so place, so they can send photos them, and so that's so we build up with database for no side focal.
So from 2018 to now, what are things that the biggest challenge we council will face in this flood mitigation exercise?
Finance, you don't area say World Bank, EU. Last year, council been able to put some own source revenue, but we will also get support from RMFA, planning and building permits. Another problem. So if building permits, they're not aligned to environmental issues, it will continue to be a problem for flood mitigation. So I would say that now the biggest challenge, the funding and the question of land use and building permits.
Well, that na the mayor of Freetown, our worship Yvonne Akisaya, be the talk to Chino Jalo inside that interview there. Also, be the talk about the measure the model don't put in place so that the issue about flood did not go happen inside this rainy season. The program Good Morning Salone they continue, and inside the program now we come over to the studio guests them.
Alright, so they continue the program and they come over to Lieutenant retired Amadou Abubakar Kuruma, head of quarantine homes them Nanakovac. If they don't tell you about quarantine, waiting at quarantine and the type of people and what they put under quarantine. One other word we don't they confuse people and get for do with isolation. Some people say they go on self-isolation while soon they put other people on quarantine. So how will I differentiate the two, the self-isolation and that of quarantine?
Okay, law defines self-isolation as distinct from quarantine, from the account to what you exactly say. Self-isolation in the general sense. Now, a situation wherein somebody they don't diagnose them with a disease. In quarantine, they don't diagnose them, but he exposed to the disease. So in self-isolation, because the person don't diagnose them with a disease, this person here, we don't let this disease is spread to other people outside. So we put into what we call medical isolation. Already he diagnosed with the disease, and a disease will communicable or contagious. So for them not spread this to outsiders, they put her in medical isolation.
So indifferent from the treatment, the one already in a treatment center as well, the isolation.
No. Treatment center simply means the one they don't, in this young case when a COVID-19, they don't diagnose her with the virus. So they get on a treatment center for let you undergo treatment, then a treatment center. Okay, quarantine, I don't want to expose, but not going to treatment center because they're not completed 14 days.
No, the isolation.
Yeah, isolation, yes. But this is why they say self-isolation. For example, when they say on the 9th, some Americans then go out of the country. 3 Americans then come in. So they talk to government, the U.S. embassy talk to government, for make a government allow them, then put them people into self-isolation or self-quarantine. Government agree. So they take them na hill station, then put them under organization quarantine. That is a case wherein, for example, U.S. Embassy in this particular case, or NGOs, international NGOs or whatever, who send a request, government say let them quarantine the young people there. At then your expense, in the sense that they're responsible for everything, food, water, all basic necessities when I go need for keep them there for 14 days. But still after the same 14 days, they go for conduct test for establish whether they're negative or they're positive. If they're positive, then they continue. Then they take them, go to a treatment center. If they're negative, then they will allow them for go
So
back.
apart from them people that you mentioned, so other than the other set of people they get one can get that kind of preference to for say let it do self-isolation.
Okay. For example, we get 13 Chinese right now within an Avalon Lodge and Godrich. Remember, about close to 2 weeks ago, one plane load come from China. We bring test kits and respirators for we. So they come with 13 Chinese along with deputy ambassador. So because a requirement, nobody no go for circumvent that. So then put them in quarantine. But now organization quarantine in the sense that now the Chinese government not responsible for another hotel.
How can monitor them people here because of other thing be? I mean, so what thing people can say they don't get that effective monitor like I can be in a normal quarantine home.
We get effective monitoring system because before they go into that organization quarantine, the psychosocial staff then go, risk communication staff then go, with doctors then go, with nurses then go, with security then go, and we quarantine staff we self go. We go see them, we talk to them, we assess who side and therefore put them, we see say it ideal, it is up to the standard what we expect. And even when they did it, periodically we visit them. We visit them periodically, we monitor, because what them promise them will provide what are the basic needs of a quarantine home. Then promise them will do them, and we say we monitor say yes. They get everything they need, and then they in complete confinement when people don't need to interact with them at all, except designated staff, like what they say. For example, if risk communication staff go, they give them access, they go do the new work. If psychosocial staff then go with them time come for good, then they go there. If quarantine staff, we say they go there for go see what thing they do.
So we think it happen where when they pull some people and come out of their house and carry them go na quarantine centers them instead of una quarantine them na their own location where them dey.
Well, this will happen for example, like a case in point in the western area where this thing will happen initially, we normally do home quarantine. We do na quarantine centers we can get. Government will get for identify certain hotels. Amongst them we get Jam Lodge, we get Josal, we get Occasion, na Lakanda, we get Sierra International, we get Companero, we get a Hotel 510. Government put people in there. They put them exposed, we don't remove positive case, Karanguna lab for positive case Karanguna treatment center for treatment. The one who they exposed in have been primary contact. We have put them at various hotels. Now them they will monitor them, give them all what they require and so on. After 14 days, they go test it all at various times, depending when the 14 days they mature. So that was one. But later, as time they go, we see the people then, they feel say they're comfortable in one of the houses them than in hotels. And also the huge hotel bill. One hotel they charge, just imagine a hotel charge 100 per person per night. That's a huge cost. And the least na $35. When at 350,000, we all know. Just imagine you put 50 people in there, you put 70 people or 100 people in there, because we need for quarantine because they're already exposed. And not letting them go spread this thing to the wider community. So because of all of this, in the western area, where the last patient done or the last resident at the hotel don't discharge, where they don't confirm and say a negative after the 14 days, we make sure say we not put anybody in a hotel again. We put people in at the houses and we quarantine. As long as we don't do assessment, all pillars don't do an assessment for 6 years. The place, all what it takes for make an ideal quarantine home, a fulfill we make sure say we quarantine at the home. And most of them prefer that. Because they wouldn't give them like when Madam talk, they give them the ration, they cook for themselves. Government provide everything. Even fish and charcoal, government provide them. So they're more comfortable at their homes. At the end of the day, if 14 days or don't complete 14 days, what happens? As long as they all test negative, then we drop the quarantine.
So since we get with first confirmed case in March 31 to be precise, waiting at the longest time where people on the quarantine, the longest period where they take now waiting.
The longest period so far the longest period we don't get. For the first cycle 14. And the protocol say after 14 days, if they test them, any positive case come out, they for repeat the second cycle. We're at 28. So after 28, the longest I would don't take now a 3-cycle period. That is 14 plus 14, which is 28, plus another 14.
Currently we get quarantine homes and where complaints on they come up say they don't take over 30 almost days now they host them, then they're on quarantine, but on another they go check on them. Waiting at the problem.
most of the stories when they read either on social media or phone-in program or whatever, na exaggeration. A case in point, now I don't care. Now quarantine people and because they're exposed, who don't remove a positive case can go to a treatment center. Now, after 14 days, when they test them, a positive case emerge. And psychosocial tell them, say, we positive case on command, like them tell them initially before we even establish a quarantine, say then go for repeat a cycle if it's positive case commodity. So one positive case commodity, we tell them say they repeat the second cycle. At the end of the second cycle, 2 positive cases imagine at the same quarantine home. Now I don't care.
Okay.
Now the Panande, now then call, people high up there, say them don't they more than 35 days, no more not talk to them. The information come meet me, the national coordinator, General Kelly Conte, he say make we check because he has interest in each of these quarantine homes, just like His Excellency the President. So we check with database, we see say, now the third cycle, then just the begin. Now tell us, they not do 35 days. It's not correct.
Okay.
So the gentleman where he made a call, me talk to him directly. Now I cannot say. It's just exaggerate the situation for draw attention to
But
the
also, Yanda, no more. We even get call from Sengbeton. We get one other call again from Eastern. People in the way, like, they call, they go, say you testify, say then they quarantine home. Where they don't pass them, they know, go check on them.
If they stay for any extended period now because they repeat second or third cycle, that's one. But I assure you, say, we have staff who go around on regular basis.
Okay.
Psychosocial, we have our doctors, we have our nurses, we have our risk communication person, we have quarantine manager. Even for quarantine, for example, we get field officers, that are one. We get zonal supervisors, we get quarantine managers at each and every district level. So across the country, we are monitoring quarantine homes effectively.
Continue for the retreat inside the program. Lieutenant Colonel retired Amadou Abubakar Koma, head of the quarantine management na NACOVAC. The program Good Morning Salone continue, and inside the program now we go for a short break.
Better don't come. A Union Trust Bank, yeah. Your Salone Banco. Union Trust Bank get plenty product and service there for you. You must get what you want to go better. Let me savings account, ide. Current account, ide. Fixed deposit account, ide. Credit facility, ide. All for you. Me and you. Union Trust Bank, that's alone for me and you. Kids future savings account, ide. School fee savings account, ide. Pay advance salary scheme, ide. We branch and they all of Mornin Salone. Boko no kelema, we ide. Kabala maboko kakabia, we ide. Jala free town don't sa, we ide. And my legacy one, me and you. Me and you, Union Trust Bank, that's alone for me. Union Salone Banco, Union Trust Banco.
Union Trust Bank, empowering Sierra Leonean businesses.
Salone get enforced corona case March 31, 2020. And from that time to now, plenty people don't get this sick. But plenty people so don't well from the sick. After when they clear them go to treatment center and take good care of them. But the sick still in at the country.
Plenty people get message them where they can talk, and some of them message they are not even be true. Now that make Radio Democracy with support from Osiwa, they bring to you special corona updates program. Also you go to get accurate information about the coronavirus na the country.
This program going to be every Wednesday, 12 to 1 o'clock afternoon.
And Master Sabi people from the well body sector and other people themselves go there for tell you body sick.
The program Good Morning Salone continue, and we will bring this edition come to you this Thursday morning. My name is Sapti Kalon.
And Mabel Kaba.
And inside the program now, we go over to the other studio guests. We are Nene Bajalo, and in the Human Resource and Finance Manager for the Food and Nutrition Pillar na NACOVAC. Madam Ba, before we go for a break, we will talk about the type of food, and you saw that they make provision 3 times a day. Now, we'll look at availability in terms of the food, their timeliness. When you talk about breakfast, how well one can consider the time where people in for it.
Well, we already put something in place to make sure, say, the food they reach on time. We all know about traffic and other things, but in the beginning, we'll just begin where the number is not plenty yet. Everything they come from EOC. Like three contractors will feed the whole country. So because of that, they will be stretched. But when the number increase, we decide for Sudan to divide the western area into zones, 8 zones. So we get urban get 5, the rural get 3 because they're smaller. Then now we put contractors in each zone, which means say if Madam Jalo and they feed zone 1, anybody under this side, then they feed us. So now a more effective in the halfway. If not dry ration, you can do. If not wet ration, you can do. So everything they reach on time. Like I tell you, it don't become more relaxed. I know the way all things on one side difficult. But when begin go, one person take care of so many, like 3 or 4 hosts no more. It's easy for them to distribute people there. And they provide motocar from EOC and military people there, they help for distribute their food there now. As the number they increase, together captain they wait and give it. When they load their dry food there, they carry each of the homes there. So the complaint about time leaders don't reduce drastically because now food and the reach on time because the numbers there purpose is very small.
So what are the provision where they make for quarantine homes them also we get picking them and some get belly woman them?
Wonderful. First of all, we get quarantine homes where besides the picking and with the development there, we get quarantine homes where we get diabetic patients, we get high blood pressure, all other medical diseases. You know, say nutrition, food, and medicine. Most of the medical conditions here, now food and trigger. Either eat too much, eat too little. For the Peking there, as I'm sitting, we provide for them, if they're not 6 months yet, I breastfeed them, man, they breastfeed. Most of the one they way, a quarantine home there. Breastfeeding, even the one they're sick, it is stated, even international, they say, you can breastfeed the Peking up to 6 months and above, even with COVID. But the one they don't pass 6 months, they provide for the formula, they provide for them either NAN or Grigos for them, depending on the age 1 or 2. They provide, yes, they already provide clothes for some of the Peking, then they will provide clothes, soap for the Peking, then again, medical condition, they tell women, they say, when they cook, the people when they cook say, we get 4 diabetic cases, we give them diabetic diet, which means you don't get a fresh, you don't get a sugar thing, you don't get this, sugar, all that, then get hypertension, you get forget reduced salt. So all that category will take into consideration if they happen for them. So the Peking are taken care of comfortably. Even things that want to be get in mind, we don't talk coordinator say, some people are Peking and clothes and don't do 2 circles like we say. Now like 4 clothes more than in clothes. We have to buy clothes, then go distribute.
But society the complaint can come out with all the measure and provision we see or that don't put in place, especially for people we not for eat certain food and picking and belly woman. We yet still they see people that they complain say side away picking day when a young picking them availability of pampers and rats in them where they need they reach them.
They reach them because me they work very closely with quarantine. Our office is not the same, but they work closely because now the other they need now they take care of. So the point that yesterday, as soon as they pass with pampers and all that, I say, food and nutrition don't be pampers. I say once they're happy. Now the place is so they can't give the managers where they come out from the centers will be there. Okay. So available pampers available. Maybe the one that they use for the woman there, a young girl where they come up with, we can't part them for the carers because we know the needs of the people that will not put them one place.
Okay, continue for the retweet. Neneba Jalo and Ina the Human Resource and Finance Manager for Food and Nutrition Pillar Nanakova. Over now to Eric Masali, we come on the Ministry of Planning and Economic Development and Ina the National Coordinator for NGO them. And only talk about the role we national and INGO them don't they play. Eric, earlier you mentioned about certain couple where you say INGO and national NGO them don't make a contribution of. In terms of that money, they like almost exactly we involved within different organizations you don't contribute.
Yeah, well, for the INGOs, we'll be able to get response from 27 international organizations. We come back to the ministry and say they get support for fighting COVID-19, and that amount will be over 230 billion. And then for the nationals, we get about 26 national NGOs every country, and their money will be around 41 billion. So in total, we talk about over 250 billion were readily available when the NGOs that they use now for support the COVID fight.
So in terms of reporting, because most of the NGO, yeah, we at the end of the day when they can then donors then can get their money, they can ask for reports on how their money then didn't spend them. In terms of reporting, because this is an emergency period, waiting at the measures where they're in place. Because if you look at about 230 billion where you talk about accountability key, waiting at the measure where they for ensure say at the end of the day they're able for account for some of their money. Yeah.
So as you may have known, we just come out now all the districts them. Basically what we don't put systems in place. One, now for ensure say for better coordination, for minimize duplications and for promote effective service delivery, we don't decide say NGOs or forget NGO focal persons in each district. When the focal persons also now in the lays, they work with the district emergency operation centers them, you understand? Where there are gaps, then go inform them.